Hello, and we are back. Welcome to the coolest, funnest new show on all the platforms. I am Leslie, and this is my dear, sweet goddaughter, Jordan Brace. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm happy to be here.
Me too.
Yay! So, since we are so happy and things are going so well, let's talk about fraud and waste and abuse in our country. Those are happy topics,
Yay!
right?
So great.
Did you happen to see the roundtable that Vice President JD Vance did about addressing fraud and how much they've been going after everything that's coming out and all the arrests and everything that they're doing?
I've heard of that. I just haven't had a chance to look in deep at it yet. I know that he did that. I just haven't seen exactly what was talked about yet.
Okay, so I'm going to put that in the comments of this video so that you and everybody else can go watch it. But it is amazing. So basically, what I think has been happening, and it's been building, right? We had Doge come in and say, is there fraud? Oh, yeah, there's fraud. Look, massive, massive amounts of fraud. Everywhere we look, there's fraud, right? And then we've got Nick Shirley going into places and saying, hey, wait, did you know you're spending millions and billions of dollars taking care of kids that don't exist and taking care of old people that don't attend this facility? And all of this abuse is happening and this fraud is happening. And then you look at what happened with HR1, which is the big, beautiful bill. And you look at really what the main focus of that was. And everybody wants to put it out there as, oh no, the sky is falling. Everybody's losing their benefits. HR1 is going to be, the craziest, worst thing to ever happen to us because it's getting all of the free, 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 free. And it's making people prove that they qualify for these services, prove that they're necessary, and then they receive the same services they were receiving if they do, in fact, qualify.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what we talked about last time. People want to take the easy way out, and the problem that people have with the big beautiful bill is that it doesn't allow them to do that. The easy way out doesn't exist in this country. You have to work for what you want. Nothing nothing in life gets handed to you.
Right.
You have to earn it.
I say that to my kids all the time. It's free. Can we get it? Nothing is free. There's no such thing as free. Somebody pays for it every time, right?
Yep.
And so when, we get free money from the government or a free grant or a free this or a free that, none of it is free. It all comes from somewhere, right? And so while there are programs and grants and whatnot that do good things, it's very important that we look at what the output is for whatever service is receiving that grant. Because ultimately, even if that's free money, that's just going to be handed out either way. If we're handing it out to a program that's doing absolutely nothing with it or just paying their overhead and not actually putting out any results, that ultimately comes from our tax dollars. And something else could have been done to further make the lives of our constituents better, right? So
Yeah.
that's why nothing is free. There is no such thing as free money. And everybody's freaking out that, oh, HR1 it's making it to where, like in California, the state is telling the different counties, oh, we can't afford to pay all of these things. You have all of these healthcare expenses. We can't afford to pay it. So the individual counties are going to be responsible. And blame Trump and HR1. It's the big beautiful bill's fault. And you are not going to be able to meet your financial requirements. You're going to have to lay people off in your area. You're going to have to do this, make these cuts because we can't send you the money. But do you know what they did?
Hmm.
They wanted to fight back against some of the things in there, like no medical mutilation and sterilization of children.
Oh,
And
how terrible.
I know, right?
How dare they?
So they want to fight back against stuff like that. And so California is voting to increase allocations for financing the medical mutilation and sterilization of our children by $26 million. We have money when they want it. We have
Yeah.
money when there's some pet project or initiative that they want to pass, but we don't have money when it comes to enforcing something that's going to stop the fraud and the waste.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like we're in an insane deficit or anything. They
Well,
just choose to ignore that when it's convenient for them.
right. Kind of are. But yeah, let's just give away 26 million. That's nothing, right? Let's just
Exactly.
give it away.
Like that's just spare change, right?
Right. Yeah, it's insane. And you know, then you see Gavin Newsom saying, "Okay, well, the budget's balanced, but what we're going to do is we're going to start taxing all the small businesses, all this additional money. We're going to start taxing any major corporation." Do you know how many big businesses have left California?
Oh,
In-N-Out
yeah.
Burger. They're moving their headquarters out of California. Nothing is
Oh,
more
yeah.
California than an In-N-Out Burger.
I know. Like I'm pretty sure that's part of the reason people move here, because they want to try In-N-Out. They want to be near an In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's overrated because I don't eat meat. But like seriously, we're just going downhill and people are choosing to turn a blind eye. Like, hello, please wake up. Do I need to slap you or something?
Yeah.
Please.
We do. And the thing is, in California, we have to do better. We have to start electing people who are going to stand up to insanity. We have to start
Yeah.
electing people who are going to say, the rule book for California is like this thick, and we're adding like 2,000 bills a year. How is that sustainable? How can our law enforcement
it's
enforce
not.
that?
We need to start pretending everything's fine. Like, people go through the day pretending everything's fine, pretending our state's fine, pretending everything's perfect. It's not. You know it, and you need to say something. See, as this is something that you learn from the age of like 6. See something, say something.
Yeah. Unless you're Nick Shirley, which, if we get it passed in the Senate, will be illegal to see something and say something. So I am going to be heading down to the Capitol next week once this election wraps up and speaking with our senators and asking them to kill the Nick Shirley or stop Nick Shirley bill. If we can kill that bill, that would be amazing.
It would be.
And we have to. There's no other option. So, what other fraud are we experiencing? The local level, the state level, national?
This is kind of a small thing. I actually just saw this on the news yesterday. And I think this is another thing that the government was hiding from us. An ex-CIA agent embezzled $40 million in gold from the government. I have a hard time believing that it took them years to figure that all out. I truly do not believe that, $40 million of gold is missing. Didn't notice. Like, how did
Right.
it take you this long to figure out that this guy was doing this? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, well, I know for a fact it didn't take that long because back when Barack Obama was president, he initiated this thing where if you deposit more than $600 into a bank account at all, period, then it is notified, the government is notified about it, the Federal Reserve or the IRS or whoever they're sending it to. And so if I was to say, hey, Jordan, great podcast, it was wildly successful, here's $800, and I sent it to you via Zelle, the government would then know that. And then you file your taxes at the end of the year and you don't include the $800 I sent you for a podcast, they're going to be like, hey, where'd that money go? But you're telling me $40 million? So just, we don't know.
Yeah.
We didn't see that happen.
Either this guy is like sneaky and has some offshore accounts, which I highly doubt, or the government is hiding a lot from us, which I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. I'm pretty sure anyone with a pair of eyes and a brain can figure that out.
Right. And what else is he involved in? Because the number one economic what do you call it? Avenue, source, whatever, in our entire country and in the state of California is human trafficking. And that is happening at every level of government. And there are people who are high profile government officials who have been involved in this. And it's the same thing as the missing gold. It's they can sell a woman or a child over and over and over and create a revenue source that just is continuous. And we're saying we can't track where all that money is coming from. Why is this
I know.
person all of a sudden living in an $5 million house when their annual salary is 200,000? Like,
Yeah, so either our government is failing or they're lying or both. Either one, really bad.
yeah, they are either complicit, they're involved, or they're stupid. And we need to elect replacements no matter which one they are.
And honestly, I think it could be all three. It just depends on how far deep you want to go into who's involved.
Yep. Well,
I
and
could talk about that for a really long time, but I
right,
don't think we have time for that today.
we don't. We will actually. My friend Hope Beryl Green, she was actually on Epstein's Island. She was born into human trafficking. And so we will have her on our show and we will deep dive into who's involved and what's going on. And that will be an episode for another day. But yeah, it's the corruption, the waste, the abuse. It's so bad in our country.
Absolutely, it is.
And we keep electing the same people who are going to keep doing it. So if you are bothered by your prices, if you are bothered by the lack of morality in our government, if you are bothered by no accountability and no arrests anywhere for anyone, maybe this is your sign that you should run for office.
Anyone can do it, really. You just have to be educated.
You really do. And it is so simple. And our society, our government was built on the principles of you come in, it's public service. So you serve your time, you serve your community, you do your part, and then you go back out into society and be part of society, right? It never was meant to be a career path. And people have made it a career path. And those are probably the people that we need to take out first, right? How long has what's her name Waters been in office? How long has Nancy Pelosi been in government? How long, and I know Nancy's not rerunning, but the people looking to fill her spot are just as bad, if not worse. Right?
I know.
Maxine Waters, that's who it is.
Yes.
How long has she been in office? Right?
Too long.
Some of these people, we just saw Al Green got voted out by I think it was 60 to 30%. And so it was a huge, huge loss for him because these people are going in there and they're making a show of things. They're making a mockery of our country. We saw, what's his name? Fetterman came in. Everybody's like, what is this guy doing? He's wearing a hoodie. What are we doing? And he's like one of the only people on the left-hand side of the room saying, why are we trying to stop this? Why?
I know.
Why are we sacrificing the American people to push a political agenda? If that guy can wake up and realize something's wrong, why can't normal, everyday American citizens?
Because, I'm sure at first when Fetterman was elected, I'm sure we were all scared about that. But he's turned out to actually have some common sense.
Yeah.
Whoa. Crazy. Democrats can't have common sense. Who would have known?
Right. Well, and look at it. Tulsi Gabbard, lifelong Democrat, one of the most amazing people. General Flynn, lifelong Democrat, one of the most amazing people, right? Bobby Kennedy, his entire family. Going back, the Kennedys were amazing people and have always been great leaders. And Senator John Kennedy, he's one of the most hilarious people on the internet.
I love listening to him speak. He is so funny.
So funny. So I mean, we have, again, I think it goes back to it's time for the two-party system to go away because our country has more to unite on than we do to divide on. But they have so many agendas and so many things that they feel are more important than our country actually being the best and most sustainable country possible.
Yeah, and I think what people need to wake up and realize is it's never been about the party. It's it's never, if you look deep enough into it, it's never been the party. It's been the candidate. The party doesn't matter. If you're not following through on your promises, on your good promises that are beneficial for all Americans or all citizens of the state, whatever role the person is filling, it doesn't matter what party you choose to identify with. It matters if you follow through on your promises.
Absolutely. And, I think that's why, because by the time this airs, it'll be either almost Tuesday or it'll be Tuesday. And, that race will be over. But there's candidates that are running that I've had people upset with me about when I say, I would rather not vote for that position, knowing that I'm throwing that vote away, knowing that I might be increasing the chance of a Democrat, than to vote for that person because I've seen them working and I've seen them fail at the promises they've made. I've seen them not deliver. Why would I tie my name and my vote? Your vote is the most sacred thing that you have. And it is your responsibility. It is your civic duty to vote. And every one of us gets to vote our own way. You and I are voting for different governors, right? Like, it's our choice. And it is on us to do the research and decide who we pick to represent us. Because in the long run, that's what it is. They work for us and they represent us. And we want the person that's going to most represent our voice. And I cannot, as somebody who tries to educate the public and tries to spread information and help people wake up and get motivated to be involved, I cannot put my name by somebody that I know is going to fail them.
Yeah.
Right?
Our country is so heavily dependent on popular sovereignty. We get a say in who we want to represent us. We get a say in whether we want to keep this person in office that's already been elected. It's if a candidate is not following through on things that they promised to do, why do they deserve that role? Why do they deserve to have authority?
Right. Absolutely. 100%. And when they do that and when they let you down, that's the time to vote against them, vote them out of office. Let's clean up house. We have a country to save. And
Absolutely.
we have an election in 3 days. And after that, we have another election in November. The time is now. Get off your seat, get involved. Join. So in November, if you have a school board in your district and you want to get involved, run for school board. Those positions are going to be open. If you live in a town that's incorporated, run for your town or city council. Those races are going to be open, right? Like, there's so much you can do at the local level to bring back order. I don't know why nobody's getting involved.
I know. I think people forget that elections aren't just the big ones like the president and the governors. The small ones matter too.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like you said, school board elections, that's affecting your kids.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how tiny the election is, it all matters. It's all going to matter at some point in your life, your kid's life, their kid's life. Somewhere down the road, your choices matter.
Yep. Elections have consequences. Who you vote for will determine your consequence. Things are going to get better or they're going to get worse. And
people just have to be smart enough to decide which one they want.
Mm-hmm. And people have to wake up and realize you don't have to have a kid in the school district to run for school board. You just have to live within that district, because every child that comes out of that district is a financial investment you invested in. Your taxes paid for that school district. Your taxes paid for the education that child's receiving. And that child is going to be a leader in our community. Or they are going to become somebody dependent on our governmental systems. So it's your choice how these kids, develop in the future. And if you get involved and we start getting kids on a better track, we have 60% of our country doesn't know how to read and do math, basic math. Why do you think they're switching to touch screens at fast food restaurants? Because the person at the counter doesn't know how to count back change to you. It's insanity. And that stops when you have people who run for school board and start asking questions. Why are we spending $80,000 on a massage chair for the staff room when our kids don't have pencils to write with in the classroom? Right?
I know. It's outrageous because, I mean, for example, a lot of schools, I had to take one for my college, they have placement exams. I don't know, at some point they might stop having those. Because again, people want to take the easy way out.
Mm-hmm.
And as it stands, a lot of people don't do well on placement exams because of what they're learning in school, whether they're paying attention in school, or whether they're actually doing the work, or whether they're relying on a screen to do it for them.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. You can't take your cell phone in for your SATs, right? Like they don't
Right.
let you take that in there and say, what is the square root of 47? It doesn't happen. You can't do that.
I know.
Right? So we're setting our kids up for failure, and we need people who are willing to come and be that stopgap in continuing to fail our kids. So if you are watching this and you have, it doesn't take long to run. Town council is one meeting a month, maybe. City council, maybe 2 meetings a month. Sometimes with a special meeting or something else, there's 3. But you have an agenda that takes you a couple hours to look through. You have staff to meet with, and you have the couple meetings. It is 10 to 12 hours a month to make a difference. The school board's even less than that. It is 1 meeting a month, an agenda packet that takes you maybe 45 minutes to read through. And then it's your job to go and meet with teachers and meet with admin and figure out what's going on the campus and hear from the community. Outside of that, it's really not that much work.
I know. I for an assignment for my AP government class, I had to attend a council meeting. So I attended a meeting for the Board of Supervisors. They have such an important role in even the tiny minor little issues in our county, and I don't know, maybe issues that could go even further up to the state level.
They really do. Yeah, they have contracts with the state and unfunded liabilities that they have to navigate. It's insane.
I know.
But it's such an important role, and it's such an important responsibility.
I know, and I think a lot of people that didn't didn't major in political science or something are thinking, "Oh, I can't do that. I don't have a loud enough voice. I've never been involved in politics before. I've never done this. I've never done that." Doesn't matter.
It's for everyone.
Yeah. Your English major could very well help you be a very good member of the Board of Education.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We had an opening in one of our county boards of education. And that was really the argument on what decided whether the board filled the vacancy or it went to an election. Was one of the board members was arguing, I want somebody else who understands education, has worked in education, and knows what it's like to be an educator. And the other board members were arguing, no, we need more people that make more diversity, and the good kind of diversity, not the kind that, allows us to cripple systems. But we need a broader spectrum of experience to make this board well-rounded, right? And so there's arguments for both sides. And sometimes the most qualified candidate is just the next slimy sleazeball, You know, Gavin Newsom never had a real job. He never was a real human being. He was basically bred for politics and ushered into it. He was the next most qualified candidate, right?
I know, which is kind of a scary term to think about.
Right.
Like, what do you mean he's not fully qualified? What do you mean Mr. Greaseball isn't, like, everyone knows he's not fully qualified to run our state?
But if you ask the who's of politics, he was the most qualified from the beginning. Well,
Oh
Mr.
yeah.
Newsom, how's your 10-year plan to clean up the homelessness in San Francisco? Because I think, like cancer, you've spread that across our entire state and it's gotten a billion times worse. So, I mean, come on. The most qualified person is probably your local farmer or your local business owner or your local mom who's fed up with their kids being mistreated in schools, right?
I know.
All right.
And if you dare speak on something like that, you're a terrible person.
Right. I'm a bigot and a nationalist and a terrible
Right.
whatever. I don't care. I'm going to get one of those like Girl Scout sashes and start just making buttons. Proudly
I
wear it
love
around
that.
town, right? All right. Well, thanks for hopping on with me, Jordan. And
Thank you.
we will do it again very, very
We
soon.
definitely will.